Hi, my name is Danny van Meulen and I'm the founder of Comment Radar. A lot of YouTubers are sitting on a gold mine without them even knowing it. A lot of YouTubers and creators are struggling daily with how to improve their own videos. What a lot of them don't know is that they are sitting on a gold mine of data. And that gold mine of data is the comment section. A lot of YouTubers think the comment section is a way to interact with your viewer. And of course, that's definitely the case. But the comment section offers so much more. And that's where Comment Radar comes in, because Comment Radar scans all the YouTube comments on a video or all the YouTube comments on a channel and analyzes all the comments and looks for patterns in the reactions. So let's dive in. I'm going to paste a URL. So this is the homepage. And I had a video of one of my favorite YouTubers. We're analyzing it. So the video is how I get cinematic shots myself. It has 45,000 views with 117 comments. We can watch the video if we want to. So it analyzed those 117 comments, and this is like an overview, a dashboard. These are the most headline takeaways, and then we go to the next tab, and that's what viewers loved. So what landed and why? Video detail. Viewers appreciate the thorough and detailed approach to the video. And then we've got some comments as evidence. So, man, your videos are always enjoyable. Feels like you went extra in detail. I appreciate how much time you put into making. So you've got a lot of comments saying the same thing. And that's what Channel Radar is really good at. It's discovering those patterns, and that's something that we as a human being aren't really capable of, because we read those comments one by one. But Channel Radar just sees it as a bunch of data, collects it, and gives it back to you. So the second thing is inspiration. They really like the inspiration. So again, with the evidence. But what's probably more interesting is, okay, so what did the viewers didn't like, so I can adjust to that. The price of the tripod. The first version was a bit too quirky, especially the OG price. Bro, that tripod is $569. I got you, bro, but $700 is crazy. So this is something, perhaps, that the manufacturer of the tripod that he is representing could take away. The product reliability. I teach at a film school in New Mexico. We have the first version of the tripod, and all four broke or had several issues. So these are pretty interesting things that he can give back to the sponsoring partner that he is working with. So this is already really valuable insights for him as well as for his sponsor. Then we've got the viewer requests, and these are things that, well, you can create another video about. For instance, the 23 people are mentioning, gotta give credit, filming yourself is a freaking pain and this guy does a lot. Maybe a video with a part of it being the prep and how you go into this. And then we've got different comments that are asking for kind of the same thing. So it gives you some inspiration for your next video, and you know there's like a market for that video. A tutorial, grading and film. Here also, the orange building in the background in your contrast. A LUT pack. LUT packs are also color related. Viewer request is a really data-based request of what your viewers really would like to see from you again. So we've already got 4 topics that you can build on for your next videos. So then we've got the highlights, and the highlights is a pretty interesting tab because you've got the timeline. So you can use timestamps in your comments, and when multiple people use a timestamp in a comment, it will show up on the bar chart so that you can see, okay, this is an interesting highlighted point in my video apparently. Then we go down and you see the most liked comments and the comments that sparked most discussion. So most likes, most engagement, and also pretty interesting to see those things side by side. And perhaps there are also ideas for your next video in this section, because this is really valuable, of course, what comments people like and what comment really resonates with the other viewers. We've got the audience. What kind of people are watching those videos? Well, this is something you're probably already aware of, but you can also use this to analyze channels from other people and other creators. And perhaps you'll discover an audience that you didn't really think about, and that could be an audience that you can cater to as well. So for YC Imaging, Christopher, it's filmmakers, beginners, and gear enthusiasts. That's quite obvious. He's always talking about gear and all, how to start into the video production. So this is really spot on. And then we've got a really interesting tab, And that's the suggestion step. And this is really hands-on what you can improve on this video and videos that are going to come. So let's see, when we look at this video from Christopher YC Imaging, what does Channel Radar say? It's saying, for instance, the title. He can improve his title. And what's interesting, sometimes when you do this, when your video is already uploaded and you change the title, you change the thumbnail, it will spike again the amount of views, likes, comments on that video. So when we look at the title right now, how I get cinematic shots of myself, no crew, just a tripod, you see that it's sponsored by SmallRig, of course. It's a pretty long title. I guess it works for him, but well, the suggestions say, perhaps you can say mastering solo filmmaking. It's more compact, more punchy. Of course, you can add the SmallRig product name in the title, but yeah, it's interesting to use this as a experiment to see what it does for your video. Then we're looking at the thumbnail. It says, show your gear in action. So when you're talking about a tripod, show it. And I do actually think that cinematographers love this thumbnail because, well, the framing is really interesting. Looking inside out, he's next to the car, the colors, the way it's graded. It looks really cinematic. So in this case, I don't know if the suggestion of Channel Radar is the better one, but of course, it is more relevant and you can try it and see if it will spike the views of your video again. Then we go to the next suggestion. It's the hook, the truth behind filming yourself. So it's looking at the transcript of the video and sees if there are improvements there as well. And it's looking at the hook and it says, well, perhaps you can do a different hook the next time. Just a small tip for your future video. So on this page, you see there are just some hands-on tips on improving yourself as a creator, as a YouTuber, for this video, but also for future videos. So for instance, for the follow-up, well, a lot of people ask for more in-depth knowledge, explore advanced techniques. Perhaps that's a video idea for a future video. It doesn't stop there, because we've got an intelligence section. And what you can do there is go really in-depth, comparing your own videos to, for instance, competitors. I can do an example. It's not really a good example, but okay, just for the giggles. This is a video, the one that we just analyzed, but this is one from PewDiePie. It's two totally different videos, but it's fun to see. So what's the difference? Generate insights. It will give a summary of what's down here below. And what's funny is that the positive, negative, neutral distribution is quite similar for both videos. But if you go down here, you can see like the top left topics. Of course, this is more video focused, video detail, inspiration, tripod suggestions. For PewDiePie, it's more innovation, trustworthiness, and community engagement. Yeah, he has a project that he was presenting to his engaged fans. And engaged they are. The engagement gives a 9.2 out of 10 compared to YC Imaging, which isn't bad, but it is a different view base. You can really tell that PewDiePie fans are really committed and engaged to his content. And of course the complaints again. And yeah, you can compare, for instance, different product videos to see what people like or don't like. So this is pretty interesting for brands as well. If I was SmallRig, for instance, the manufacturer of the tripod, I could easily compare different creators and see which creator people loved. But what I could also do is find videos of different products that I manufacture and compare them in Channel Radar. And then you can see how people think about those products and also compare those products side by side. So that can be pretty interesting, and you can really get some valuable feedback directly from your audience, from the users of your product. Then we've got a channel analysis, and this is channel based. So I've got a channel of YC Imaging. We can look at the past 10 videos, but we can also go to 20 for now. Perhaps we'll add more later, but I think 20 channels will give a pretty interesting result. And what it's doing is gathering all sorts of comments from different videos on this channel, all replies, the sentiment is being calculated, and this is, well, for instance, what we've seen. So what they constantly love is the inspirational content, technical insights, engagement with the community, the creative growth, lighting techniques. Those are all things that are really relevant for Christopher's content. And what they don't really like is AI concerns. And that's something that's really a big thing in the creator economy right now. So what's AI going to mean for my business? The equipment costs, of course, videography is quite an expensive hobby, and the content style changes. Interesting, the last one. A portion of the audience is struggling to adapt to stylistic shifts in video presentation. That's something that Christopher perhaps can do something about and listen to his audience and think, okay, but what have I done different in my video presentation? So here are the best and worst performers of my videos, and this is not the same as in your YouTube statistics in YouTube Studio, because here you can also see not only the reach, but also the reception. So how did my video get received, and how did people feel about my video? I think that's a really important statistics to take away, because it's not only about how many views and how many comments, but you also want to give your viewers a certain feeling when they have watched your video. I do think personally myself that when you manage to make someone feel different at the end of a video than when they started, I think you're doing something great. And this is a overview that kind of shows if you manage to do that. So that's quite interesting. So yeah, this is Comment Radar. Feel free to try it out. When you register, you get 10 credits for free, and it's pretty cheap. It's 9 euros for 60 credits. That's like 6,000 comments. So you can just try it out, and I really, really hope that you like it and that you will learn from your own content, or perhaps content from other brands, your competitors, or perhaps your peers. So have a nice day. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.